In this video, we're going to look at the introduction to the composition of two functions. Okay, so when you have f of g of x, you always start with the inside function. Okay, so that's what we're going to do on this. So on this first example, we have r of x is equal to negative 2x plus 2, and s of x is equal to negative x squared minus 2. What it's asking us to find is r of s of 3. Okay, so we can't do anything with the r yet, but what we can do is figure out, well, what is s of 3? Okay, so let's go over here and figure out what is s of 3. S of 3 is equal to, let's see, we replace the 3 in this, so it'll be negative, here's my 3 squared minus 2. Okay, so let's see, square the 3, that becomes 9, but then the negative is out front, so it's negative 9. So negative 9 minus 2, remember you add them up when they're both negative, so that's negative 11. So s of 3 is equal to negative 11. So when it asks us, find r of s of 3, well, now we know what s of 3 is. S of 3 is equal to negative 11. So instead of putting an s of 3 on the inside, now I can just say, well, that's the same thing as r of negative 11. Okay, so I will find now r of negative 11, which means I plug in a negative 11 into r of x. So r of negative 11 is equal to negative 2 times negative 11. I'm putting the 11 where the x is, plus 2. Okay, negative times a negative is positive, right? So 22 plus 2, whoops, equals 22 plus 2 is 24. So r of s of 3 is equal to 24. Okay, let's take a look at this next one over here. So they're asking us to find t of s of negative 1. So the first thing we want to do is figure out this inside. So what is s of negative 1? Okay, so we go to the s function and we plug in a negative 1. So it'll be 4 times negative 1 minus 1. What is 4 times negative 1? It's negative 4, right? Negative 4 plus 1, they're both negative, so you add them. So that is negative 5. So s of negative 1 is equal to negative 5. So now instead of writing t of s of negative 1, we can replace the s of negative 1 because we know what that is. It's negative 5. So what we're going to find next is t of negative 5. Okay, so we plug in a negative 5 into the t function. So that's negative 4 times negative 5, replacing the x, and then minus 3. So negative times a negative is positive, so that is 20 minus 3, which is equal to 17. So t of s of negative 1 is equal to 17. Okay, for the next problem, we have s of x equals negative 3x minus 3, and t of x equals negative x plus 4. We're asked to find s of t of negative 4. So just like the other times, I'm going to first find t of negative 4, the inside function first. Okay, so we replace the x with a negative 4, so negative times negative 4 plus 4. Negative times negative right here becomes positive, right? So it's 4 plus 4 equals 8. So t of negative 4 is equal to 8. So now instead of writing s of t of negative 4, now I can replace that inside with 8. Okay, so let's do that. So we have s of 8 now instead of s of t of negative 4. So that's equal to negative 3 times 8 minus 3. Okay, negative 3 times 8 is negative 24. Minus 3 is equal to negative 27. So s of t of negative 4 in this function is negative 27. Okay, let's take a look at this last one here. This time we're asked to find w of u of negative 4. So I'm going to find u, or not negative 4, of positive 4. U of 4 equals negative 2 times 4 plus 1. So I'll plug the 4 into the u function in place of x. Okay, so that will give us negative 8 plus 1. So u of 4 is equal to, what is this? Negative 7. Okay, now that we have u of 4, we can replace the u of 4 in here with negative 7. So we'll be finding W of negative 7. So we plug a negative 7 in place of x, so we get 2 times negative 7 squared plus 1. Remember, you have to do the square part first. So that will be, let's see, negative 7 squared is 49. So 2 times 49 plus 1. 2 times 49 is 98 plus 1 equals 99. Okay, so W of U of 4 is equal to 99. And that's it.